What's up, guys? This is Kalo, and normally I'm here to give you the lowdown on all things gaming, but welcome back to another episode of Community Kitchen, where we're cooking up the latest and greatest gaming news headlines. And who better to join me today than Aiden? Why don't you say what's up?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Game Sandwich, where we believe a game has to put in the work if it's going to win Game of the Year.
It's Gadu, and speaking of putting in the work, we ask you, if you're new here to Game Sandwich, why don't you drop a like on this video, subscribe, and join our community Discord. The links to that is in the video description down below. Now, we in the gaming industry, us pundits of this business, we just got out of, or we're on the tail end of review season, where we're reviewing games, things are coming fast and furious. Shout out to Dom Toretto. And now we are in as much as like it's crazy it's November, we are now heading into Game Award season. Like, it's our Oscar season. This is big. It encapsulates the full year, and this is when conversations like this pop up. And over the weekend, over this past few days, this Twitch streamer, very famous one by the name of Shroud, was talking a little bit more about his viewpoint for Game of the Year. And general consensus amongst most people, Claire Obscure Expedition 33 is the front runner, if not within that conversation of the top two. We're going to have a whole separate video talking about our picks and all that, but it's the fact that he says that that game doesn't deserve it because, one, he's never played it, and then he brought up the idea of multiplayer games. I believe Arc Raiders was the thing mentioned here, and I don't know,
Yep.
that just... I don't know, man. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
Yeah, no, I mean, he specifically called on Arc Raiders for being Game of the Year, saying, like, his quote for it, if I have the right one pulled up. Never mind. I don't have the right one pulled up in this. But in general, like the general consensus is that like he aimed for Arc Raiders to be Game of the Year. Said it's too easy for single player games to win Game of the Year. And also said specifically that Expedition game or whatever shouldn't win Game of the Year or shouldn't be Game of the Year. And it's very obvious he's never played the like Expedition 33. I've never played Expedition 33, but I know all about it thanks to some people like Kevin here who have told me a ton of things about the game. And even someone like me who hasn't played it, like thinks, hey, that's more deserving of Game of the Year than like Arc Raiders. And I've seen plenty of Arc Raiders too. And you know what? Like I just like I have a list of criteria for Game of the Year, and I'm sorry, but if you like Arc Raiders, hey, you like Arc Raiders. But I don't think it falls into that. It's just like Battlefield. You can love Battlefield. I don't think Battlefield 6 falls into Game of the Year nominee category material. I don't. Now
Yeah.
other categories, yes, like best shooter, yes, definitely. Just not Game of the Year.
Yeah. So, just to kind of like put out the general, and I'm going to read off a list for the BAFTA Game of the Year award winner as of the past few years and kind of cherry pick a few examples. But of course, last year, Astrobot. We had Baldur's Gate 3 the year before, Vampire Survivors, Returnal, Hades, and then I'm going to jump back a little bit to a game in 2014 by the name of Destiny, The Last of Us, Portal 2, Super Mario Galaxy, Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter, Half-Life 2, Call of Duty in 2003, and then a handheld, which it's weird to me, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, which is very, very weird. But that showcases the wide range of, we have action adventure games, we have FPS games, we have role-playing games, we have platformers, puzzle games. Now the general conversation of what constitutes a Game of the Year contender versus like whatever. I think for the general aspect of it, my list obviously differs from your list, and we're not going to get into our list today, but I think Game of the Year is very subjective, where
Yeah.
you are very entitled to your opinion as for what game stood out to you the most in this year, right?
Yeah, I mean everyone's entitled to like what their personal game of the year is. I mean, like my personal game of the year, if I had to choose it, would be Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I love that game.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. Like I would either do that one or I would say Night Rain.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do I think that they actually deserve Game of the Year? No, no way. I don't think they actually deserve Game of the Year because they don't do good enough. They don't do a good enough job to justify the Game of the Year aspect of it, or the Game of the Year award. Now, nominee, different story. I think they could be nominee, but definitely not winners. I think like as a general consensus, I'm not going to go through like a full list, but like as a general consensus, I would say that Game of the Year, like minimum for like a few things that like few prerequisites it has to meet. It should be one, it has at least something innovative about it.
Yep.
Two, it has to have a story of some sort. And
Yeah.
then three, it has to be immersive. Like that's like three of the main things that I think that a game of the year needs to be. And like there's some that have one game of the year that I don't agree with. Like Overwatch, for instance. I don't agree that that one should have been game of the year because there's not really a story in the game. There's story outside of the game that you carry into the game. But at least to my knowledge, I have very little knowledge about Overwatch, so you people can school me in the comments over that. But then when you look at games like Baldur's Gate 3, for instance, that one game of the year, that one definitely was innovative.
Mm-hmm.
It had, like, at the time, compared to many other games, a very unique combat style that focused on D&D aspects. It also, just in general, played a lot different than a lot of games you're used to at that time. And at least for a lot of people. I mean, I'm used to you know, I'm used to Larian's games. But anyway, like so that one had that. It had a really great immersive story. It checked all three of those boxes that I mentioned.
That's
And so it should have won. But like for instance, like looking at the list, I don't think Destiny should have won.
this is my thing with game of the year, where it's that conversation of every year it's almost guaranteed that there are certain games we just don't get to in our lives, and I'm just applying a blanket statement to everybody, where it's like some people last year might have not played Astrobot or Baldur's Gate 3, and for me that is where my criteria of, like, I'm not looking at units sold, I'm not looking at like what rating did it get, like on IGN. Like I don't care about that. What I care about is, did this game, like what you said, was innovative within the gaming medium, and did it take it forward, or did it show that there is something there? And I'm specifically looking at Astrobot, where I'm like, if you told me in 2024, given how bad gaming has been and was that year, that a platformer of all games that, like, let's face it, the industry forgot platformers. Like, they did not care about them. It was all about big AAA action adventure, whatever. That a platformer won game of the year, that spoke volumes of it can be done if it's done the right way. And this whole edict of like gaming needs to have insane budgets to meet a certain thing to be amazing. Like, no, Team Asobi absolutely knocked it out of the park with Astrobot. They did it with a small team, a reasonable budget, and let's face it, when that game released, I don't think anybody out here was saying, yo, that's going to win Game of the Year, or like, I'm so hyped, like, that is going to be the definitive thing. Last year, it was what? Final Fantasy Remake or whatever? Like, Final Fantasy was the big dog in that race.
Yeah, I mean Final Fantasy VII
Rebirth.
Rebirth. Yeah,
Yeah.
not remake. That one was the big dog, and that one was the one that was also a lot of people were going, "Oh, should it actually win because it's a remake and everything?" And that's a whole nother story. But when it comes to remakes in general, it's just like as long as you change it enough, yes. If it's not changed at all, no, I don't think it should be nominated. And they did change it enough, you know. But I was looking here, and I did find Game Rant's article on this where like Shroud basically said that like he urged like multiplayer gamers to band together to vote for Arc Raiders, suggesting that like that multiplayer oriented players are the minority among the voting audience, which I would argue they aren't. I mean, I would say majority of people play online like multiplayer games like shooters and stuff. I would say a lot of people like I would say probably more people play those in general, but and also said like claimed that the game awards are rigged and urged fans not to let that expedition game win.
Hmm.
Which I mean, to be fair, like I said, like we said at the top of this video, everyone's entitled to their own opinion as to what game of the year, as to what their game of the year is. I don't think that anyone should ever like go out of their way and just be like, you know what, everyone should just vote for this game because I said so.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's a bit, I think that's a bit ridiculous.
And I was bringing up a point we were talking about on stream. This is exactly the point. The DICE Awards, which are a pretty big, notable award ceremony within our industry. In 2014, Dragon Age Inquisition won. Now, you're going to ask me, like, what does that have to do with anything? November 18th, 2014, that's when that game came out. So we're right around the time where a game came out in November on the 18th and went on to win a Game of the Year award. This is my thing of, like, to Shroud's point of, like, hey, go vote for Arc Raiders. Personally, if that game, and I'm not trying to knock the game, but like if it was that transformative and like it had that much gravitas behind it, I feel like it would have spoke for itself to go on to potentially knock off Clair Obscur. But right now I'm not seeing that, and it's like, okay, like I hope there's a fair fight between all the games and whatever game gets the award deserves it. But at the same time, it's like games can still come out like tomorrow, and if they have that big of a cultural impact, like why not? Like next year, I would like to think that GTA 6 is going to win Game of the Year. With granted, that might be jinxing it a bit, but like let's face it, we all know going into that game, it's gonna have the cultural impact, it's gonna have the hype, it's gonna have everything behind it. We kind of know.
Yeah, I mean we do know, but you know what? I'm gonna. I was thinking about waiting until after the video to mention it, but no, I'm just gonna mention it now. Kevin,
I just
judging
jinxed
by
it.
cutoff dates, GTA 6 can't win Game of the Year. It
When
can't
does
even be nominated
when does it come
because the
out?
cutoff date is the 18th. It comes out on the 19th.
Oh, that sucks. That
So
sucks.
if the cutoff date's the same next year at the 18th, it can't win.
Yeah. Man, what the hell? Like Rockstar, get it together. But
That's great though.
it's crazy. It
I
is.
hope it falls on the 18th.
Yeah, you know. But again, I believe the talk of like not to be so black and white about it, but like if the game was transformative enough, there would be a talk about it. Like Arc Raiders, I've seen get very very good praise across the board, but
Oh yeah.
I look at what again. It's like the conversation with Astrobot. Heading into this year, we understood that Clair Obscur was coming out. We kind of knew the combat system, and we were like, oh, a small team is putting it together. Oh, like, it's going to be a fun game, but, like, I'm not expecting anything major of it. And here we are at the end of the year going, damn, that was a masterpiece, Game of the Year worthy. Like, it's just, it shows you how quick things can change if done right.
Yeah, it does show you how quick things can change. And I don't know. With Arc Raiders, I don't see it being transformative enough. I don't think that it's worth it. And honestly, like, to each their own with it. I mean, I'm sure it's a great game. I have not played it. I'm sure
Yeah.
it is a great game. If a lot of people say that they like it, I'm sure that they do for a good reason. You know? And like I mean there has been news around it like taking like apparently like taking like the player base from like Call of Duty and also from Battlefield. So hey, I mean good for you. Good for you, Arc Raiders. But, you know, again, like to touch on Shroud's point of like they're the minority, if you truly believe that you are the minority, there is a reason why your games will never win Game of the Year then as well. Because guess what? You really are the minority and not enough people play you then. And it just shows that other games like Clair Obscur were played by a lot more people and are cared about by a lot more people. You know? That's what it shows then.
And it's crazy to say that, like, before I speak, he was saying FPS games were in the minority, or multiplayer games.
Yeah.
Like, that is just categorically false. I'm looking at Halo Combat Evolved 1, Battlefield 1942 1, the first Call of Duty 1, Gears of War, third-person shooter 1, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4. Like, again, like, the game would win if there was enough backing it. And that's the thing with awards. There's got to be a winner and there's got to be a loser. But I do think, like, again, if there was enough behind it, like, then we would have that conversation. Again, that could be someone's game of the year out there, but it's just, again, we don't know. And here I'm looking at the actual Game Awards Jeff Keighley event going back to 2014. Dragon Age Inquisition, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, Overwatch, Breath of the Wild, God of War 2018, Sekiro, The Last of Us Part 2, It Takes Two, Elden Ring, Baldur's Gate 3, now Astrobot. Like, there was a good chunk of time where action adventure games won, but then we have RPGs, we have platformers, action role-playing, first-person shooter. There's variety. It's not like there is, like, this thing against FPS games. Like, I can almost guarantee you, if Activision woke up today and said, I don't know, by hook or by crook, if they said, we're going to drop as big of a banger as the first Modern Warfare was today, like as great of quality, great cultural impact, that would win Game of the Year. Without a doubt.
No, I have no doubt that it would. I have no doubt. Like, I just don't see...
It's just, yeah.
Like, I just don't personally see a shooter game like that winning Game of the Year. Like, at least because it doesn't meet the criteria that I say, at least. But, you know, like I said, like, and I keep saying, to each their own with it.
Exactly.
Some people are going to say that they love it. Some people are going to want that to win, and then are ultimately going to be disappointed. I will be disappointed that, you know, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 doesn't get nominated, because I personally love that game.
Yeah.
And I think that it's really fun to play. But, you know, it's not going to get nominated. And if it does, it's not going to win. So I'm not, you don't see me being salty.
Again, it's the thing of, I never let this award season get the better of me where I'm like, man, the game I really like didn't get nominated for X, Y, and Z. It's like, no, if I enjoyed the game, then I enjoyed it. Like, and again, to say that FPS games don't get a fair shot, I think with the sheer amount of them we get, and understanding a game like Fortnite is out there that is just dominated without having to get an award, like, awards are just non-necessary, non-vital. This is the gaming industry, like, fluffing itself up, or like to, you know, just kind of like make a grand thing out of it, and it's whatever. Like, enjoy games. Like, that's all, really. Like, that's it.
Yeah, just enjoy it.
Just enjoy.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's your lesson.
There's your life lesson, but I'm going to pass it off to you guys, the audience. What do you think about all this? What's your Game of the Year list? Let us know in the comments down below. But as for this episode of Community Kitchen, I've been Kalo, joined by Aiden, and we'll see you guys next time. If you enjoyed today's video and want more content just like this, consider subscribing to Game Sandwich for all your news, rumors, and reviews. And we'll see you guys next time.